Hello, good morning students. Please subscribe the channel, drop a like, share and comment. This is SSC previous year dictation exercise number 3 on the speed of 100 words per minute. Start. Mr. Deputy Chairman, I thank you very much for providing me an opportunity to speak on this important bill with regard to the repeal of certain enactments and to amend certain other enactments. In fact, this exercise has been undertaken from time to time. I have a little problem on this. You may kindly recall that in the monsoon session we passed a similar bill covering about 35 enactments and amendments. Sir, it has been referred to the Standing Committee. It is being examined with reference to certain decisions given on the same subject by the Supreme Court. Instead of rushing through in passing the bill here, which may be sometimes an unnecessary exercise and taking away the precious time of this House, maybe this can also be referred to the Parliamentary Standing Committee. This could be taken up together with the report of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on those 35 enactments passed in the monsoon session. This is the more appropriate way of taking up a matter like this. I made an inquiry with the status of that report also. I think it is still under consideration and they have not yet finalized the bill. I do not know whether this has been recommended by the Law Commission or by a review committee. If any one of these bodies has recommended this, perhaps the entire text of the report could have been made available to this House. Just bringing a skeleton of a list and presenting it will be quite an elaborate exercise for all the honorable members to go through the merit of each case. Sometimes we may have to blindly approve this bill and send it. It is very risky. Sometimes the law may be blind, but members cannot be blind. I think we need to make a serious exercise on a matter like this so that we do not regret for any mistake tomorrow. There are very important matters on a matter of principle. For example, long back when our government was there, we had referred to the Law Commission to enact a law of torts, which is a necessary enactment. The Supreme Court or the courts pass judgment on the basis of certain verdict from the Supreme Court of the United States or the British law. That is how our case, particularly relating to the victims of the Bhopal gas tragedy, suffered. They want a head for 2 years. They failed there for want of jurisdiction. They came here because the headquarters of that corporate entity is in the United States. Ultimately, they had to arrive at some compromise which worked to the detriment of the victims of the Bhopal gas tragedy. That is why even now it is unresolved. I think the government should be very careful. We should ask the law commission to apply their mind on an urgent basis come out with a draft law on torts, which is a must for any civilized society. It is just not available. I would request the Law Ministry and the government to ensure that they ask the Law Commission to come out with a report on an important enactment like the Law of Torts. Another point which I started examining as law minister earlier was at various stages of consideration, and I would like to know the status of that today. That is about sensitizing of our laws on the principle of gender equality. Many of our laws are not sensitive to gender. There is a law for one gender and there is different law for another gender. Ultimately, it results in abuse of law, as a result of which people suffer. I think it should be on the top of the agenda of the government and this parliament to ensure that all our laws are made gender sensitive. Mr. Deputy Speaker, Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code was considered by the Supreme Court and again the Honorable High Court of Delhi considered and it unfortunately restored it in the statute book. Laws are ideally made or unmade by the government, not the judiciary, and more importantly, the burden of deciding the validity of Section 377 of Indian Penal Code had to be entertained only because legislatures have not reviewed it since it was passed in 1861. This is again a very important matter which requires the urgent attention of the government and parliament. We have a lot of problems, no doubt, in our legal system. For instance, 43 years after the abolition of privy purses, there is a law which still requires a police official to appear bareheaded before royalty. The Indian Treasure Act makes it criminal to fail to inform the collector or other senior officers of the state in writing of the discovery of the treasure exceeding of any value.